Anyway, as I was saying, Horatio, well, that was the pizza delivery man who came by, and I said, I didn't order no pizza, and he says, well, patoy, and drives away. Earlier, I was mentioning the audience. It's generally for the one retired, or the retirees, or the retired elderly old folk. So not originally, but a few sessions back, closer to 2014, there was children's bands, and they all wanted to be something when they grew up. Besides that, there was the pornography actress, the Suicide Girl. She was replaced by, well, they make a hell of a nanny babysitter as long as they're not working around the children. And she didn't get fired or anything. She moved out on her own accord. Was a mom regardless. Maybe she was a retired pornography actress. The Suicide Girl was replaced with the Army Man. Well, he wasn't a veteran per se, but he was back from Afghanistan regardless, lived in my backyard. To be pushed away by two children who are nothing but a nuisance, instead of females, you'd say, well, they're just nuisances. They're 10-year-old nuisances. They're not quite women. And I wouldn't even call them girls. So they left and had left an empty space for a while that's replaced by a newborn. So above me in my lot, I have this squirrel. And every time someone from the lot behind, whose eyes always were assumed is a tired or elderly, etc., 105, would spy in and say, me and the squirrel in my smoky bar at the church altar with the pew, and so I pipe up and it's on the spot. None of this is, there's no script to it. And then an empty space again whenever Papa Bear would come out anywhere close to the newborn. And nature stops for its purest forms. Whenever someone would get hurt, they'd call timeout, etc. So what I've been doing here, besides waiting for the moonrise, 10 o'clock Watertown ordinances, as soon as there's a neighbor sighted, it's the pause stop button. And I'm a little bit winded, but I mean, this is it. This is it. This is the grand prize. At 22 years at home, you get a 15-minute walk down the road for a half a trailer to pay with for your SSI. Yeah, well, it's not all the SSI, but it's most of it. I have other incomes. There was the under-the-table job 1 through 3, and now fabric stores on the books as long as I show up for work next Monday. I got 1 day this week. I'll have 2 days next week's. Moving items for a mob was a big thing, but that was just picking things up and putting things down from the house to the backyard, not really hoping they sell or attract any attention, unless it was friends, family friends, friends of friends, friends of family friends, or family of friends, etc. So, no, I gotta quiet down all the way. Well, I talk loud naturally from out the truck depot road and the Grateful Dead shows. Moving items for the mob was the Grateful Dead expression. It's modern America folk. The wares generally were gold, crystal, silver, fake diamonds, sometimes real diamonds, and then up to 2 years ago it was cannabis because it just became legal as long as the THC is 0.3% or under. Close to a third percent. A third percent you could do, and that's 1.0 is no. It has to be a 0.0 and specifically 0.3. How many threes you add to that 3 isn't up to me. I don't think they count the second decimal, but it's a 0.3, a 0.3 THC or under, and it's okay for adults in Connecticut over the age of 18. As far as live music and live performances, coming up next is Bob Weir, November 11th at Capitol Theater, Port Chester, New York, Garcia's Bar. It'll be featured on Nugs TV. The last show was Melvin Seals, Fairfield, Connecticut, and in December, also at Port Chester, New York, Capitol Theater, Garcia's Bar. The East Coast home to the Grateful Dead will be David Crosby as a for lack of squirrel in about 5 minutes with complicated speech. I got the bilingual speech impediment, as is mentioned before, besides drunken slurs that may have been Swedish at first. 5 minutes is just about up. Gotta go sign me in DC.